The private market will not solve the affordable housing crisis. We have a $2.4 billion surplus. We have more than enough resources to immediately address the affordable housing crisis, to immediately eradicate homelessness, to immediately alleviate the slum conditions that many public housing tenants and other tenants, like those at Congress Heights, are being subjected to by private landlords. I just want to remind everyone, you might know that tenants in these 4 buildings in the neighborhood publicly and privately reached out to the Basilica asking them to sit down and talk to them. They received a response from the Secretary Treasurer of the Basilica Title Holding Company, which somebody who also holds a leadership position in the shrine itself. So these are basically the same entity. And he essentially wrote back and said, we're sympathetic to your situation, but we're unable to provide any assistance. So I want to invite Jeannie, who's a tenant in one of the buildings, to speak to us.
Good afternoon. I'm a tenant on Bryant Street. My other neighbors was not able to come, so I've been trying to help and try to lead the way, because a lot of tenants in D.C., a lot of tenants in D.C., they don't really know their rights. And I tried my best. When I found out that our building was being put for lease, I reached out to OTA, I reached out to Housing Counseling Services, I reached out to Latino Economic Development Center. And I'm also was actually looking at trying to buy the apartment so that we could stay, so that we could own. But my issue or my concern is that I have is that with the HPAP program, they do not allow you to buy a 4-unit building. You can only have a co-op, or you can only have a single family home or an individual unit. So I feel that we should still stay in our particular apartments, because even though we rent, that does not decrease our what we do. And I find that, I know DC is trying to get more people to own, but if you rent, that's fine too, because we are paying our rent every month. I have been in my building since 2002. Some of the tenants has been there since 2014. One of the tenants in another building has been there for 50 years. We are DC residents. I was born in DC. Most of the residents probably was born in DC as well, so it's very disappointing. I thank you for your support. We're going to continue to fight. I do believe that the battle is the Lord, and I believe that He is going to take care of this. And I believe that He would do what He can do. But I am solely disappointed. But I do thank everyone for the solidarity and also for coming out to support us, and we really do appreciate it. So whatever you can do, we just got to keep on fighting and hopefully turn this around so they can realize that from the Basilica that they need to do right by us. They really do.
Okay, so now we have about 600 leaflets, and we have a bunch of petitions, which I think different people are holding. So what we want to do is we want to line the sidewalks, up that sidewalk, down the sidewalk, across the street where the parking lot is, and do what you've seen people down here doing, hand leaflets out to people in the cars. The leaflets are basically asking people to call the Basilica leadership and let them know that they need to reach out to tenants and negotiate a fair agreement to prevent the displacement of 16 families in 4 buildings that are in this Rhode Island Avenue neighborhood in Washington, D.C. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out.